Welcome to News Live on Force of Liberia from the nation capital, Monrovia. This news is also live on Force of Liberia at 89.7 in Kakata-Mankibi County, 90.7 in Bangapon County. It is also live via our online radio at www.forceofliberiaradio.com. News Live is a 30 minutes of news, views, and information about Liberia and the rest of our one world. Today is April 17, 2024. I am Mafida Kamar presenting this edition of News. On our first development, the Liberia National Police have arrested one person in connection to the alleged gruesome murder of a Monrovia City police officer identified as Amanda Nimbo. At a news conference Tuesday, Police Inspector General Colonel Gregory Common said the suspect identified as Chicky Wynn has admitted to his involvement in the murder of Ms. Nimbo. Again, we record on Saturday night, April 13, 2024, Madam Nimbo was attacked by some unknown individuals while trying to take away her bag. According to Colonel Common, the suspect has provided names of his accomplices that have been involved with the murder of Amanda Nimbo. The police boss assured the public and family members of the deceased that the police will go an extra mile in ensuring that the rest of the suspects are arrested by the police.
With the gruesome murder of Ms. Amanda Nimbo, which then occurred on April 14th at about 12 midnight. That's a sad event that we don't wish for anyone. As part of our crime initiative, I mean, this is something that is very disheartening. We consider it one of those issues that has to be aggressively pursued and is being aggressively pursued as we speak. Today, we have arrested one of the key suspects in the murder who has admitted his involvement, and he has given us names of additional suspects who were involved, and the police are after them right now as we are ongoing with this exchange here. So hopefully within a day or two, we should have the rest of them in custody. But beyond that, we are really concerned about the occurrences of crime in that area. So we are reviewing measures to put in place to try to curtail the situation and to keep people safe. These measures are being reviewed by the operations department right now. They are looking at what is the most feasible, apart from just the command structure and the deployment of additional resources to that area. We're looking at measures that could also include some form of curfew for riders, because the target in that area is really a motorcycle. 2 days ago, someone came to my office and informed us of what they had witnessed driving on the road. She was driving along the Somalia Drive around 11:30, and she saw these two motorcyclists with cutlasses going after another one who was running for his life. So they had to go after them with the vehicle and try to run them off the road, and that's how they were able to save that person. So the crime focus in that area is more motorcycle based. So we're looking at all of the measures to put in place to keep riders and the passengers safe as well, while we do more engagement in the community, more proactive engagement to further deter the criminals.
Colonel Common, however, disclosed that the police are expected to put in measures that will see curfew for motorcyclists on the Chippenham Freeway and other areas.
Decided that from ELW Junction straight to the Freeport, there's going to be absolutely a no-go zone. There are other areas that the deputy and the press and public affairs people will directly speak to as to where all of those cutoff points are, but they've been able to sit down and agree. There are some areas we asked that we wanted to include. They gave reasons why they thought, even with the safety measures we're putting in place and them remaining in those areas, will create a balance, and we've been able to sign an MOU. Sensitization is ongoing, and enforcement for the no-go zone begins on the 15th of May. However, it has not limited us from enforcing the other safety regulations, like the issue of the helmet, the issue of their safety gears for riding, and registration and insurance for those motorcyclists. So it's all set. May 15, the direct enforcement begins. and we're moving more from force to service, using alternative measures based on where we find ourselves and the current state of affairs of our nation. This enforcement regulation with motorcyclists and the tricyclists is something that I personally do not want to single them out, because the safety issue is not just about them. Safety in this country is a very serious challenge for all road users, from the pedestrians to those driving vehicles. I think you even heard the engagement with those truck drivers on the bumping highway. So it is a very serious issue that we are concerned about. There is a lack of a culture of safety here in Liberia, and we all must hold together. We all must be willing to learn in areas that we are not aware of.
Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has suspended the permit of 3 private jet operators for engaging in commercial flights. This was according to a riot act on the NEAA's website on Tuesday, signed by the Acting Director General, Captain Chris Nanchomo. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festo Kenyamot, had on Monday warned private jet operators on lessons to operate commercial services that their activities were causing the federal government a huge loss of revenue. Let's join our Nigerian correspondent, Naomi Kubandat, for more insights on this development.
Aviation industry is one of the biggest industries that generates revenue for the Nigerian government. And because of that, some private individuals purchase their private jets, claiming that they are going to use them for commercial purposes, collecting the licenses for the for the private purposes, because the licenses for the commercial purposes are higher. And so people collect the licenses for private jets and then convert those private jets into commercial jets. And this is costing the Nigerian government a huge loss in the industry. And that is why the minister said that they are going to prevent them, suspend all those who are using private jets for commercial purposes. They also called it an economic sabotage, and is not going to allow it to continue. Now, one would wonder how a private jet comes into being at an airport where commercial aircraft are operating. But this is how they do it. They always bring the private jets, park them there, and then when people are traveling, so they're traveling with their friends and their families, and then they convert these people to passengers and do the runs where the Nigerian registered aircrafts or airliners are supposed to be running. And this is costing the government a huge lot of loss. Yeah, to expedite the action on the warning issued to them in January and February, the acting general director of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authorities yesterday suspended 3 operators of the private jets who are found guilty of not complying with these rules laid on the ground. And they didn't quite give us the names of the private jets that they suspended, but they said they suspended 3 of them already. And they also said that they should supply all their documents of registration to the aviation industry so that they will know who is running a private jet and who isn't. But so far, 3 of them have been suspended to the best of our knowledge.
The Civil Service Network of Liberia has wholeheartedly welcomed legal action instituted by 10 dismissed employees of the National Port Authority against the management of the NPA and its managing director, Sekou Dukle. The 10 senior employees, including Gabriel Bood, former controller of NPA, recently took legal action against its former employer for what they refer to as their unlawful dismissal by management on March 29, 2024. They filed 2 separate cases for action of damages for wrong label and slandered at the 6th Judicial Circuit Court, that's Law Court of Mosurado County. That network strongly believed that following its investigation into circumstances surrounding the dismissal of senior employees of NPA, including its former controller, supports the action of the dismissed employees in using the court to seek justice. The Civil Service Network sees the dismissals of the NPA management as unlawful, legal, and a witch-hunted action, noted that there is no substantiated established reason why the Sekou Dukle-led administration would dismiss Mr. Bood as controller of the corporation. The Civil Society Network of Liberia believes that from all investigations, the NPA management's decision to dismiss the 10 employees has no legal backing, as it fails to meet the minimum standard of evidence for an improving action. The CSO notes that the action of damages for libel and slander case at the court against the NPA management is the surest way to ensure that heads of governmental institutions will not carry out arbitrary and self-willed dismissal of Liberians without due process. The Judge of Monrovia Traffic Court, Castle Mobat Subat, has been summoned by Criminal Court C. Judge Blamo Dixon for his alleged involvement in the sale of defendant Lucas Richards. Defendant Richard is an American missionary who had been on trial for aggravated assault and criminal attempt to commit murder for reportedly attempting to kill his Liberian wife, Jessica Lord. The petition for summary proceeding was prayed for by the lawyer of the defendant, Richard, who said when the incident occurred between the defendant and his wife, the vehicle was taken to the Simple Bridge police station. The petitioner added that on April 2, 2024, Traffic Court Judge Castle Zubat authorized the release and sale of a white Toyota Land Cruiser Jeep. Councillor Yampe said that Judge Subat considered the vehicle a scrap to wound Abrati Yense. The petitioner revealed that the vehicle had never been involved in a motor accident for which it should have been under the jurisdiction of the Traffic Court of Monrovia. Reports had that Abrati Yense had bought the vehicle, had gone to the Ministry of Transport to register the vehicle when it was discovered that in the system that it belongs to defendant Lucas Richard. Meanwhile, Judge Subat is expected in the Charles Chimot on today to probe a petitioner for summary judgment before Judge Blamo Dixon. Ghana Cocoa Board says the country risks losing premier cocoa position due to clamsy. The Ghana Cocoa Board has printed a clumpy picture of the potential loss of Ghana's premier position in the international cocoa market due to activities of illegal mining. The institution lamented the efforts in part of illegal mining, otherwise known as clamsy, on cocoa production. Their outcry follows a warning by the former Chief Executive Officer of the Environmental Protection Agency regarding a potential embark on Ghana's cocoa began that's being exported to the global market due to escalating activities of illegal miners. Here is Jonas Biarobi with more details.
This particular issue that you are talking about is actually a very serious issue when you come to Ghana here. Mind you, cocoa is one of the very important aspect of Ghana's economy when you come to this country. But then, as you mentioned, illegal mining, just as cocoa farmers would want to use the land to farm, illegal miners also want to use the same land to do their mining activities. So the case here is that it appears that most of the areas where this gold is found is also the same area where the cocoa is being produced or is being farmed. Now, what happened is that most of these illegal miners, they go to the cocoa farms and then they begin to mine in the lands, and so by so doing, it damage the whole land. Some of them that has been already produced will all be cut off, and then they continue to do the production. So it's actually reducing the quantity at which production of cocoa, which actually is helping the country's economy, is going down drastically on daily basis. Well, as we speak right now, when you look at the production, when you come to West Africa, the production of cocoa, Ghana and then Ivory Coast are the leading countries in terms of cocoa production. Due to these illegal mining activities, Ghana has already dropped. Now, Ivory Coast is the one leading in terms of cocoa production. Now, the current state of the cocoa production is that out of all the revenue that is generated into the country annually, cocoa sector alone brings like 34% of it. That is huge contribution to the economy, and so it's a sector that the country rely on heavily, and there's a enough quantity production, but illegal activities continuously, as we speak right now, has affected it and is currently dwindling. If care is not taken, may even collapse if a lot of effort is not pushed into that area.
If you are just joining us, be reminded that you are listening to news live on Voice of Liberia from the nation capital, Monrovia. This news is also live on Voice of Liberia 89.7 in Kakata, Mangibi County and 90.7 in Banga, Bone County. Stay in the news. In a move to demonstrating greater transparency and accountability in the public sector, the Liberia Petroleum Refining Company has submitted its first quarter budget performance report and unedited financial statement to the President of Liberia. The submission of these reports fulfills the President's policy on openness and transparency in government operations. During the handover, the LPRC management, under the current leadership of ND Emostwe, reported that they have introduced and implemented current fiscal measures to cut back on excessive spending and ensure effective and careful utilization of resources received for the entity operations. The LPRC management expressed gratitude to President Boakat for his trust and current leadership, as well as to the board for its effective oversight. They also acknowledged the teamwork of the deputy managing directors and other hard work of the entire workforce. The LPRC has promised to push extra hard to fulfill the President's desire for the sector, demonstrating their commitment for transparency and accountability in the management of public resources. Former Monserrado County District Number 2 Representative Jimmy Smith is challenging residents, thus is calling residents of the district to take full responsibility of their action for voting him out in the 2023 elections, admonishing them to desist from asking for favors from him. Speaking at a gathering of over 10 former lawmakers, the former lawmakers expressed frustration over what he called betrayal and early retirement demonstrated by residents of the district during the election. According to him, it is shameful and embarrassing to see those who betrayed him in the process coming at his doorsteps to ask for assistance. The former Monserrado County District Number 2 Representative Miwa cautioned the district residents to redirect all projects and financial costs to the incumbent lawmaker, Sekou Kanen, saying he is their new leader.
Tell the history of that district, you go to this man, I've been president, retired. It is good. I'm a businessman myself. I'm going to concentrate on my business, and I'm going to do something. Now, let me say a little quick here. When I got defeated, I said something on radio. I said, my people of the great district, you have forced me into premature retirement. You gave me one term. It's okay by me. But I hope you will allow me to live in the premature retirement you have forced on me. What are English words? It means that you made your voluntary decision that you don't want me anymore, but let me go sit down in peace. Let the people hear me in that district. That they are getting vexed with me now because something I asked them to fail to hear me. Allow me to live in the premature retirement you forced me into. But don't get vexed with me. Babe, we're coming to the house. Babe, you want to check in to see how you doing? No, forget about me. Babe, why are you pushing out the window? Forget about me. Because our brain people, we need to learn to fight for something we believe in. The rest of us here are former. Yaka is the first to come here today and stay in the office. Keep that up, son.
After several years of predicament for Gambian citizens, the European Union has finally reduced visa freed for Gambians after government cooperation in migrant readmission. The Gambian embassy in Brussels and mission to the European Union has announced that the visa free for Gambian nationals who wish to visit Schengen areas has not been reduced from 120 to the standard visa application fees of 80 with effect from 12 April 2024. The latest development comes as positive news for citizens of the tiny West African nation. In 2022, the EU decided to temporarily suspend the application of certain provisions in a visa code to nationals of the Gambia. Amadou Kantet here is our Gambian reporter.
Gambia has been over the years facing these sanctions from the EU, and this has to be because the Gambia's citizens in European countries, were of course supposed to be repatriated over migration issues, but it has been difficult with the EU to convince the Gambian authority to accept these citizens coming back home. But over the years, most Gambian citizens have been, repatriated from different European countries, especially from Germany. So I want to believe it has been the main reason, as reported, that the Gambia government has agreed to admit her citizens back, from these European countries. So one may, of course, believe this would be the main reason why, after, a few years now, the Gambia has been accepting citizens. The EU might feel it's the right time to reduce the visa sanctions that it has, meted on the Gambia over the years. Yeah, in a recent interview with a local media outlet, the Minister of Information welcomed the news of, that the EU have decided to reduce the visa fee on the Gambia. But according to him, that is in fact not enough. The Gambia government, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, will continue to engage the EU authorities to further, remove the sanctions or reduce the visa fee. But equally, they would engage the authorities, to further, of course, look at the means on what the Gambian citizens are facing when they want to travel into European countries, and to further, in fact, harmonize the relationship, where the Gambians would, better enjoy in terms of benefits when traveling to Europe, or other engagement that they have been before these sanctions were, put on the Gambia. So we believe, yes, it is a very, important development, but
A fire victim, Moses Johnson, is pleading with well-meaning Liberians for financial assistance to help pay his house rent or risks being thrown out of his home. According to Johnson, since his house caught burnt in November of last year, he has been finding shelter in the homes of others. Speaking in an appealing voice, Johnson narrated that the situation has left him living uncomfortable and making life more unbearable for him and his family. Meanwhile, Moses Johnson is pleading with well-meaning Liberians to assist him with US $120 in order to pay his house rent.
I'm a fire victim. Last year, November 10, I was placed quarter fire in Matari and going on the worst new Matari estate. As I speak right now, lab is a concern for me and my family. So in this regard, I came to the station to be able to talk with Mr. Secretary to please help us. I was not at home, but I got a call from neighbor, and before I could leave from where I was on 11th Street. Before I could leave from 11th Street to get to the place, everything, the house already down, already with fire. It's a zero place. We lost almost everything in my family. We lost everything on that day. Only thing we took on that day, I know the closed war on that Friday, but everything we have went down into the fire. And since then, I've been stopping with my boyfriend, but then. And now he's want his room, he's saying he want his place. And so we trust him God to relocate and saw a room, and the guy is telling him that he don't want to have more money. He want 1 year rent. We have 6 more money. And the room we saw is $20. We have 6 more money. My brother is saying he want his room. And so right now, hosting and clothes, television, mattress. Yeah, cash left in the fire. We cannot identify it because it was my brother. I mainly saving the money into the care bar. Close to 15 to 16 rooms that caught on fire. If any means, you people can come to our aid, even in that 3-4 months, help us so that we will be able to back off at least to be able to get his place, because it's a place we need money 120 to be able to complete the money, make it 240 to be able to get a room. My message to the people that are listening is that currently asking them to come to our aid to help us. Any amount they have, to come and help us. 0778 914957.
Several Liberian citizens have lauded the legislature for the passage of the resolution seeking to establish the World and Economic Crimes Code. Speaking in an interview Voice of Liberia reported on Tuesday in Monrovia, they expressed their excitement over establishing the LECC. They explained how the code will be used to prosecute warlords who committed heinous crimes during the Liberian civil unrest. Among those who spoke to the station is Yaman P, a street vendor on Johnson Street. Yaman is optimistic that the establishment of the court will restore peace in the hearts of those who lost their loved ones during the civil crisis and set the pace for justice.
My name is Yama. Happy. I sell pasta, socks as well. I'm feeling good about it. The goodness about the whole thing here is, let it sound it. I'm not talking about maybe 1990 whatsoever. I feel when the World Crown Court is here in Liberia, things will be right. I don't have any problem with Joseph Boakai. The only thing right now, I pray for people to take pay money be in the country. That's all. I feel fine about him. I feel fine about the decision that going on. Let them judge him right here in our Liberia, not Ghana. We are Liberian. When they judge here, they will carry them. Anybody sit down there to become president or whosoever, they will know how to take care of the citizens. They will know how to take care of us. Liberia not big for us to be suffering. We ain't got nothing to do with Ghana. Let the war crime people be right here. I lost so many people, but that were friends, extended relatives. But the life that I live, I see what I've been seeing, hearing, passing through. Let the war crime be exist. And they say, most of them say they know God. Let them pray to God. Let Liberians get together and pray for them. They penitent, let them go confess their sin. And they got penalty for those kind of people. They got penalty for them. They got to punish them. They will go in court. They got their family member out of the country. Let them bring every one of them here. Let every one of us sit down here. They shouldn't kill them, but they must punish them. I want to tell him thank you for his decision.
At the same time, Mr. Wisesi, a UN officer at the Point 4 bus parking, who is also a victim of the civil crisis, narrated how he lost his family members in the civil conflict and establishing the court in the country who gave him the justice that he deserves.
Yeah, Wisesi. Oh, I'm the young man. A Point 4 parking for here to go Point 4. Yeah, that work around to come. But it's okay, our innocent people. People die free. Everybody, kids were born. I can say my uncle too died in the war. Many people died from me in the war. Today I can see that. So for that reason, the war can't come. Everybody pay the point and say, yeah, they go to jail. Prince Johnson need to go to the jail because Prince Johnson killed some people. What my eyeball see, he killed people, killed people there. He killed the Cali priests, and he killed the musician. He killed a man, and he killed Doe. Yeah, he killed Doe. And me, I was in grandchildren. When Doe died, they called Doe pen and do all type of things to do. So for that reason, then you go to jail. So, but only political aspect, but I support that idea. And you bring it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a CA. With this passion.
Former Grand County Superintendent Christopher Ballet has underscored united as Bear Rock Foundation building. Speaking at the induction ceremony of their court-had youth, Archie Ballet stressed united as the survivability of any nation or organization, hereby admonishing the leadership to support each other to achieve their goals. He then called on the newly inducted leadership to desist from arts that have the propensity to undermine their agenda to becoming a platform of hope for their fellow Grenadians.
No nation or people can survive without that cohesive foe called unity. And that is why it is widely said, divided we fall and united we conquer and prevail. It is a state of being in agreement and working together, the state of being joined together to form one unit. Because of the importance of unity, we as the bearer of the survivability of any nation or people, my beloved governor, you, this particular saying likewise goes to us on this historic inaugural occasion. We, the Global people, looking at our unique number.
This is how we come to the end of News Live on Voice of Liberia 104.1 in Morovia, 89.7 in Kakatama and Gibi County, and 90.7 in Bangat County. For more news, log on to www.voiceofliberiaradio.com. Many thanks to you, our regular follower, for watching and listening to this edition of News Live on this station. I am Mafida Kamara. Good afternoon.